Let's see. I am streaming. I'm streaming a practice. I'm practicing guitar and streaming the result. So if anybody's out there and wants to hang out today, that is absolutely fine. Otherwise, I still do my normal one on Sunday, but I mean, hey, we're here, right? YouTube is like this new radio from hell of sorts. But I've got the guitar set up. I've got the guitar set up on this preset here that has some delay. It's actually the same preset that I used for Joe Wentz's thing a while back. And I've got the Les Paul set up as well. I do believe this guitar would probably stand a little bit of tuning, but I figured I'd kind of take it easy and, hey, thrash metal and fun riffs. How are you doing, my friend? I certainly hope you'll be throwing down some hillbilly action sometime. You know I'm asking you to do that, right? You know why? Because it needs thrash. It needs rock. It needs distortion. It needs flying V's. It needs thrash. So what's going on, dude? Anything new? How's the week been? Have you I never quite know how to ask this, but it's kind of like, it's a Gibson. It will need tuning. Yes. Like Fords, you know? Fords are fix or repair daily. I drive a Ford. Actually, mine holds up pretty good, all things considered. But yeah, I was practicing, and then I was like, well, shoot, I might as well just take practicing like live online, kind of, you know, and I could go over some of the trials and tribulations I'm going through with like picking and trying to get better at it and things like that. And figured, well, you know, why not hang with my buddies while I'm doing it? Oh, cool. Awesome. Now, is it a surprise, or can you tell us here on the live stream what you covered? And how long does it take you to render a video? Paulu, what's going on, my friend? I was just talking to you via comment. So I guess you'll be taking a crack at hillbilly jamation. So Thrash, how long does it take you to render a video? I know for me it takes a long time. Actually, I really can't stand rendering. That's why I found myself actually doing more streaming. Just because you don't have to render a stream, which is nice. Picking up the fan on this. So I gotta say, thanks, Bearded Blues Dude. Thank you, Bearded Blues Dude, for this cool wireless mic. I'm actually trying it with rechargeable batteries for the first time. That was done in G. So essentially, and even though it's just a G blues, I know it sounds. I think it's gonna throw a lot of people off having a banjo on there. I know it would throw me off if I didn't know, but essentially it is just a blues. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 da. So I would treat it as a blues. That's all. It's just a blues with that kind of, you know, jolly lollygagging groove to it. This one's gonna be about 40 minutes in 720p. Okay. It'll play automatically when done and interrupt my audio. Oh, gotcha. Okay. What do you use, Thrash? Use Sony Vegas, or? I use Sony Vegas myself. But yeah, so Paul, the progression, because yeah, the banjos are essentially, they're implying minor. But that can also be treated as a dominant. So the general scale over it would be a G minor pentatonic all the way through. And then I threw some scale suggestions down there so that if you decide you want to get a little like kind of crazy with it or whatever, there are some other ones. The Jimolian, of course, is probably the most painful of all of them, but let's see, could I play the background track to that? I don't see why I couldn't. You know what? I don't see why I couldn't play the background track, and actually maybe we could turn that into a little study. Ha! That might be something. Okay. My improv generally sucks. Well, then you've come to the right place, my friend. I mean, I wouldn't really treat it as a particular, like, lesson-ish type thing. It's just more of a exchange of ideas. Yeah, they do. They the blues rock shuffles, yeah, they tie in really well with the circle of fifths. You know, in guitar, Albert Lee or Albert King lingo or whatever. Truth Guitar Method, what's happening, brother? That's all right. I know how it is. Life gets busy sometimes, but thank you for dropping in and saying howdy. I appreciate that. It's always good to see some friendly faces around. You know, but in the blues man terminology, generally, I say blues man because back in the day, there were pretty much 99% guys playing blues. They pick their scale and they go with it. You know, and I do the same thing. You know, oftentimes I'll just pick a pentatonic and go with it. You know, I usually will pull out a simple shape. The simplest shape being, of course, you know, the one we probably all know, which is. And of course, we have full range because then all we gotta do is take it up an octave and we got it here. Yeah, well, it's turned into improv, and improv is a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. I love improvisation. Actually, pretty much 99% of what I do is improv of some sort. Like how the E, D, yeah. E, A, and D are stacked, and the G, C, and F are stacked. Yes. See, you're talking about the more complicated thing, the circle of fifths, circle of fourths. Improvise. Oops. Improvised comedy. All right, you know what? Let me pull up that backing track because I have a YouTube up here so that because I was going to play too actually another one. So let me go and let me find Guitar Meets Science. I know that guy pretty well. The friggin' nut. Guitar Meets Science. It shows that 6 are watching. Okay, cool. Hey, all 6. How the heck are you doing? Okay, here, let's see. Guitar, if I could type with one hand. Guitar meets science. Hey, look at that. It's always the first one that pops up. I finally managed to beat out Guitar Meets Bass. Makes me very happy. So, okay, so the Can You Twang.
Yeah. Had to make sure it out.
Had to make sure. Gotta get that there darn thing going. Okay. So, it's very easy to be thrown off by the banjo, though. But since I played the banjo, I could definitely say that the banjo is essentially tuned into a 7th chord, a dominant 7th chord. Cookies. You know, I tried for cookies. I really did. I actually did my best. Well, it turned out, because we had some Milanos, you know, Milano cookies. And, well, the other night I ate all of them, and I didn't even realize that I had eaten all of them. So I said to my wife, you know, before I taped the intro to this, I'm like, hey, where's my Milano cookies? So I could, you know, yeah, you got a cookie, right? And that was screwed because I ate all of them. We were watching Survivor on Wednesday, and that was it. Survivor and Milano cookies, man. So, yeah, we'll have to brave the little invisible spiky ball that wants to make sweet love to all of your cells and go out there and get some more. Yeah, Thrash, you'll dig it. Like I said, you can treat it as G minor. You can treat it as G major if you want to. But G minor pentatonic is generally usually the best. Moot has arrived. What's up, Moot? And I got a bass jam up there with Moot, so if you pop over at his channel and check it out, it's pretty cool. He floated over a track to me. Thrash, you sound just like me, man. Have you seen how many friggin' exclamation marks I put on everything? I used too many exclamation marks, exclamation mark. Yeah, man, that's exactly how I am. Doing well, my friend, and how about you, Moot? So we were actually discussing the current challenge that's going on now. That's kind of where this conversation has veered. So I figured, okay, I'll talk about it, and well, that's good to hear, man. Yeah, Moot floated over a thing. He wanted to do a guess this bassist. What do you call it? Kind of like a guess this bassist type thing. And so he gives me this track, and this track is like full-on progressive rock. It's friggin' awesome. You got to hear it. It's got so many changes, just like you said, and it's got all these really cool twists and turns in it musically. And it was a hell of a lot of fun. I just sat here and laid down the bass. I didn't record any video, didn't deal with any of that. Just played bass to it, and it really put me to work. I really appreciate that. I prefer rhythm. Well, y'all could play some rhythm. You know what you could do, Thrash? Dude, absolutely, by all means, why don't you play some thrash rhythms against it, right? Because the bass groove. You could totally do that. I'm going to bug you until you do it right. Thrash. Thrash, I know pretty much most of you guys because of Thrash. So any chance I do one of these things, I'm all over his ass. I'm like, Thrash, you got to get on it, man. You got to do it, dude. You got to do it. Thank you, Moot. Appreciate that. Yeah, that track, that's car worthy right there. So that goes in my car, and I'd be jamming it when I have to go to work. I'm going back on Monday, so luckily people at the office now are starting to take this thing a little bit more seriously. So yep, it is in G. Ed Dana. Oh yeah, no, I have no idea who Ed Dana is. Who is Ed Dana? Ed Dana is only a legend, man. What's up, Ed? Good seeing you, bro. Yep, I'm gonna plug it, man. Ed Dana. Ed Dana. Okay, Ed Dana, have you heard the track? You're a legend in my own mind too, man. So Can you get me a work from home remote job? So much funny things about that, Thrash. So much funny things about that. A good chunk of my office gets to work from home. Me, in my particular type of engineering that I'm doing, I don't get to. So, old man Dan, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. I'd say welcome to the cool kids, but that's for tomorrow. This isn't the cool kids. We're just the guitar players. This is impromptu, so. What do you call it? But you're still a cool kid. Don't get me wrong. You're all cool kids. But we don't make it official until Sundays. Oh, yeah. And I'm not complaining, really, but at the same time, I'd prefer not to be surrounded by humans if I could avoid it. But I can't, In the line of work that I do, I have to actually go in. Even though it's all computer stuff and it's coding. The long story. But so, yeah, we got some fortunate folks who are able to work from home. And I can't work from home. I have to work there. But my hours are flexible, so I go in really, really, really early. That's why you guys probably haven't been seeing me around too awful much, because of the fact that I go in at 4:45 in the morning, do that shift, so I can sort of be as away from humanity as much as I possibly can. All right, and Moot says, since the cat is out of the bag, I'm going to post an updated version. But if you knew right off, your finger gave you away. Yeah, that's true. I don't blame you, old man Dan. I know, I thought about going off the grid myself. And I'm like, well, shoot, who the hell am I going to stream with then? You guys are my crowd, man. I hang with you guys. So, I feel like, why do I have my crowd now? So, I'd be pretty sad. I'd be a sad panda. Let's put it that way. All right, so anyways, going back to this Can You Twang challenge, there's a few different approaches. Now, Blues Rocker, I believe, is going to be doing slide. I may try slide or whatever for the fun of it. But generally, let's see here. I'm going to play it. So if we're thinking G minor pentatonic. So the banjos are noodling. You can do whatever there. Magic did a killer job on the drums too, which was really nice. So I didn't have to program anything. When the porn star takes off the clothes, they're getting dressed for work. So I'm stepping on the drum machine. So all of that was pretty much 99% based in that is an Epiphone banjo with a Remo drum head on it. Interesting. It's actually a Remo drum head. Let's see here. Where's that? There's the old banjo right there. I permanently put the strap on there, so I gave it its own dedicated strap. It's got a Remo drum head on it. I had to stick some flame tape over the G-string here because it was the string popping out was cutting my thing. It's like some may play pentatonic and others may play Jamoian. Yep, they totally could. I also put in another scale suggestion in there, which would have been a Dorian sharp 4, which is kind of the Hungarian type mode. How would that go? That kind of thing. It wouldn't be a flat 5, it'd be a raised 4, so it'd be right over the top of that, so it would say, and Dorian, of course. Exactly. No, I've not heard of Dorian Hourglass, actually. Dorian Hourglass probably makes the shape of an hourglass, I would assume. I have an hourglass over there. But I know that what you can do is you can actually strip notes away from the Dorian and you get... And that works great over the 4 chord. Now if we did a Mixolydian version of that, we would end up getting, if we did it over D, see, let me run that progression a little bit here, and I'll show you what those would sound like. They actually spell out the chord even better. So, I call those ripped Dorians. That's a ripped Dorian. So it's a Dorian where you actually take notes out, and all you get are, you just repeat in 3 octaves. So. Or you can leave out that note. You could have that note or leave it out. So yeah, so if I were to tab that out, that would be 7, 5, 7 on the low E string. Try it again. 5 on the low E string. 7. Looks like my stream froze. 5, 7, and then on the A string it's gonna be 5, 7, 8, and then you just repeat it up 3 octaves. And we could also go, which is an arpeggio, and that's what is that? 13, 10, 13, 10 on the high E, 12 on the B string, and then 10 on the G string. And for that we could sweep. And those are very 7th chordy, so you could really kind of get down there. You could also do traveling Mixolydians, which is basically doing, if it's G, if it's the key of G, we just do an E Phrygian or D Dorian. I like to think of everything in Dorian because Dorian's so easy to play against. So what would that sound like? What would those arpeggios sound like over this progression? Let's see. Let's take a listen and see. And it's a symmetrical shape. Well, not a symmetrical shape, but it's a shape that can travel with the chords. Ah! Moot. He just posted, what did he post? So there's your dominant 7th chord. It's just starting out again. So it'll kick in here in the main part. Awesome, dude. Mitch, what's happening? So those are dominant arpeggios. Dude, Mixolydian? Ah. Mitch Heyman, how's it going, man? So we were just talking, we were just bending some theory a little bit because I love theory. Theory is great. To me, that is truly the science part of the Guitar Meets Science name. Guitar Meets Science rock. Well, we're gonna have to check it out for sure. I will definitely have to check it out. Now, if I were to do that on here right now, I'd probably hold up my stream because of the fact that I'm on my Windows 7 machine to see what you guys are doing. But yeah, a real Gibson. Wow. Yeah, that's right. You're packing, so you're yeah, that's right. You said that you were downsizing so that this way you could get yourself some. I'm wondering if my battery's dying or if that was just my connection. I guess we'll find out in a moment. I gotta thank Bearded Blues Dude for this wireless mic. Yeah, Windows 7 on my old machine there. Yeah, I would, Moot, but then I'd crash it. So. Plus, this way I get to sit there and actually, you know, pop on the headphones and really kind of get lost in it because I'm going to be, it's going to make the playlist. So, you don't have to do it because I'll be looking out for yours. I'll be looking out for all you guys' probably, but you could always say that you brought the, you brang the twang. One time I streamed my dog watching Johnny Bean. Oh, dude, that's too funny, man. Windows 7, it should be in the Smithsonian. Yeah, I love that operating system, though. I know it's dead. It's past end of life, but for my old machine, it works great. Plus, I've got it set up for like hardware programming and stuff, so I don't really want to take it over to Windows 8 land and just screw everything up entirely, or Windows 10, which is even worse, especially with their forced updates. I hate those forced updates. So yeah, XP is great. I got XP on my Soviet era machine. That's what I call it. It's a tower. But I couldn't get the sound card to work. For some reason, the sound card died on it. So I just moved the monitor from it over to here so I could sit around and chat and talk with everybody. But you can delay them, but I work on Windows 10 at work. And it's pretty annoying. You know, their updates tend to get rid of features too, which I really can't stand. Add features, never get rid of them. You blew up the sound card. Probably. That's, you know, and that's good. A lot of people do. A lot of people do love living on the cutting edge. Absolutely. I don't really see much in the way of developments having happened. I know Windows 7 actually really did add a lot of good stuff from XP. Of course, there was Vista that came after it, which was just horrendous. You know, that was a very bad cutting edge. That was a cutting edge with a burr in it, basically. But they kind of picked up the steam with Windows 7. Windows 8, not too annoying. It's not too bad. But the Windows 10 with their quote-unquote updates, they get rid of certain things. Like they got rid of all the ability to click on a photo and just have it show. You know what I mean? What is that? Windows Photo View or something like that. They're like, oh, we got rid of that. Thanks. It's kind of like YouTube Studio. I have no idea how the hell I'm going to live stream when they finally get rid of that Creator Studio, because I guess I have to pick brains on it, because of the fact that then you have to somehow like get an address or something. I'm not quite sure when it comes to, like, in Classic, I could just go to my live stream. I could even change the text like I did. I put impromptu and all that. I'd have to like almost like give it sort of a separate thing with that. So yeah, Windows NT was good from what I remember. NT was pre-XP, wasn't it? I can't remember that. But yeah, you could do the Jim Olean. Jesus, man, those licks. Right on, dude. And you can do that all over the place. It always makes sense no matter where you play it. They did get rid of Classic. You don't mean they're getting rid of Creator Studio. Yeah, they're getting rid of Creator Studio by the end of this month. Now they have the stupid YouTube Studio, and it's horrible. I was actually thinking about, before it goes away, doing a video of me kind of like signing in and all that, or doing, you know, like responding to comments or something like that on Classic, and then show when you're responding to comments on regular on YouTube Studio, the new one that. And you'll see, you'll type, it'll take a little while before the letters start showing up. And then they ask for feedback. So I write them feedback, and I write them some very, very frank feedback about how sucky their new system is. Do they listen? No. And I even write that too. I'm like, I know you're not going to listen to me, but oh well. Yeah, I guess if you get used to it, like Mitch is always on cutting edge, so I may end up like bugging you for advice on how to do a live stream through YouTube Studio as opposed to through yeah, so through YouTube. Dwight Bailey, what's up, man? Dwight Bailey's got the catfishing going on. So Dwight, you gonna hop on there and be a heavenly hillbilly? Old man Dan, no, I have not. I've not used that. OS2, no. IBM, not really familiar. I'm not a real gearhead when it comes to computers. I mean, I have a Toshiba satellite laptop, and that's like my high-powered computer. It's got 8 gigs of RAM in it. It's funny, I know code. I'm really good with coding stuff, but when it comes to like actual equipment or hardware, I don't know much. 10-4, got a new song up now, Spaceship. Haha, right on, dude. I've been practicing with trying to hold a fist and doing it this way because I find that sometimes I could get more gypsy style picking in. But it's kind of tricky to do now. But I practiced it for hours last night. So ascending is a little better now because of that, but yeah. Coding is definitely something, but it's kind of one of those type things where once you get into it, it's hard to get out of it. I'm kind of addicted to coding, so I know when I'm at work or whatever, oftentimes I just go into a zone and I'll sit there and realize that like 6 hours or 7 hours have gone by. I haven't even stepped out for a break, a smoke break or whatever, because I get really into what I'm doing. But yeah, holding that fist and anchoring with the pinky. But, you know, when I get tired of doing that, then I just go here. Is Paul still here? Paul Lou. So, did that help with the G minor pentatonic? Yeah, and in terms of improvisation, the finger, yeah, yeah, the finger technique is my own. It actually started off. I think the first time I did it was on classical gas when I used to play in a show band in Vegas. And then at the end we went. And that's how I used to end the songs. I just go. And then I remember a bass player that I used to play with before that talked about how John Entwistle used to go. So I put the two techniques together and I was like, okay. Well, can you travel with notes like if I did with the fingers, you know? Because I used to do this. Or yep, Mason Williams, the great Mason Williams. been so long since I've done that. But so yeah, I do notes like that, and then oh, interesting. Okay, so I could actually do that on single notes, and then thank you, and then from there it became okay. Can I do a run like a that kind of thing? Straight runs like that I'm not too comfortable with still, but and of course with distortion on, it's a lot. So it was smoother. And then I also figured out that I could go this way with the finger, and then I could palm mute, but you could only get up the first 4 strings, really. But now my finger's tired. It didn't want to do it. You got to give it a rest. That's why I'll switch back. Thank you, man. So I try to have the pick take up the slack as well, and so that's why I'm working on the fist technique. It's getting there. It's still not quite as fast, but yeah, so it's see, that's good to know, Mitch. That's awesome. I've actually kind of, I've entertained the thought of doing something like that. That's why I try to do, like kind of, I guess you would say, mini lessons on the streams. One, to either nerd out, or 2, to kind of be able to cover general topics that we run into. But then, yeah, when it comes to teaching, then of course we get much more specialized in something like that. Yeah, it's it kind of just sort of came natural, I guess, because finger. Probably because I drink a lot of coffee. So there I was able to do it because you know what I mean? The pick, it's kind of normal sounding, but some kind of extra thickness going on with the finger. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mitch. Definitely. Of course, the guitar still goes out of tune sometimes. Bet you locking tuners on this would really stick some of those, what do they call them, spurzels? Yeah, I know how it is. I know. I would need it too, I suppose. Now, I don't know about teaching the finger technique so much. I've tried to teach that. It's kind of one of those things. Your fingers just got to want to do it. Yeah, old man Dan. I know Metalhead Hippie had gotten some nice. Paul, good seeing you, man. You too, bro. Yeah, give it a shot, man. Definitely. If you have any questions on some of that stuff, you're like, hey, how do you prefer to approach blah 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 or whatever? I have no problem with sharing stuff or whatever. So. Thrash has a cover. So for you, Mitch, yeah, definitely Gibson's definitely the way to go. Yeah, Paul, without a doubt, man, always. And I'm at burninggitfiddle@gmail.com. So burninggitfiddle, BURNINGUIT fiddle@gmail.com. So, you know, feel free to ask any questions over there too, or whatever. Yeah, I have no problem sending scale diagrams or anything like that. So anything to help, because I mean, this stuff's fun. I love it. I friggin' love it. I love note choices, note combinations, and things like that. And I'm really into filling in like chromatics and pentatonics. Yeah, because you get more mileage out of them. You know what I mean? Pentatonic by itself, it's cool, very pure, but those extra notes kind of give it more of a flow. And especially if you're playing something like, I mean, you could do modal too, as well, and get that same kind of flow going on. But that's also very pure. Very classical, very moody. Right, very classical, but when you get into your filler notes, then you can switch. I guess you can switch back and forth to get pure and less pure and so on and so forth. George Lynch was talking like a jazz player and said, you play almost anything as long as you land on the right note. Yeah, that is a great mentality. And I'm actually trying to force myself yet even further into that, because it lets you even explore things even further outside. You know what I mean? Like you could... See what I mean? Now it sounds more jazzy, because you can take stuff like a fret too high and things like that and create tension. Moot says, I'll check it out soon. I have my first premiere of a video in a few minutes. Wow, okay. So for those of you guys dual streaming, oh, right on, dude. Well, cool, man. I'm stoked for you, man, and to hear it with the vocals too. It's probably going to sound pretty darn cool. I gotta say, without a doubt. So good. So Moot, everybody, is going to be premiering. Premiering in what, 4 minutes, right? 5:30. So we could plug it here. Moot is premiering at 4:30. Everybody, Moot is premiering at 4:30. I've got the 5-minute warning, so guess what? I think it's probably time to end the stream and get on over to Moot's. So everybody, go to Moot Premiere and check it out. Oops, sorry about that. I think my voice kind of went south in there. Yeah, my wife just came in and gave me the 5-minute warning. So, brilliant, I'm telling you. I'm like, yeah, I'll shut off my pedals while I'm talking to the guys. Where do you think the mic goes? It goes in the pedals. Great hangout, man, definitely. Yep, 5 minutes wife warning, so that also means 5-minute Moot warning, or probably like 3-minute Moot warning now. So go join Moot. Thank you, Thrash, and you too, and I hope you bring some thrash to the hillbilly thrash. I think that you could actually invent a new form of music. And Dwight Bailey, awesome. Thanks for hanging. So tomorrow I'll be same bat time, same bat channel. Was it 3 p.m. my time, doing my thing. And yeah, dude, not a problem, man. I hope some of that helped, and some of what you guys have told me helps. So I'm going to go back over some of this stuff on the stream too, because I steal and learn from you guys pretty much all the time. So anyways, yep, so head on over. Moot's got a premiere happening, and I'm going to try to catch you on the backside, Moot. Good luck with that, and have a good one. Stay out of trouble, guys. Avoid humans. I could crunch it out and drop G? Yeah, dude, yes. The sky is the limit, man. Seriously, dude, absolutely. And highly encouraged, too, because I think this way you'll bring a new perspective to it. So, yes, please, drop G, man. I think that'll sound awesome, dude. If we do them in stereo on left and right, that'll sound even cooler, man. So, yeah. But anyways, all right, check out Moot's premiere, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one, dudes.